In a world of fleeting fame, one star has not only endured but has redefined what it means to be a global icon. This is the story of Taylor Swift, a journey from a Christmas tree farm in Pennsylvania to the pinnacle of the music industry, becoming a self-made billionaire not just through talent, but through sheer force of will and brilliant business acumen. It all began in Wyomissing, Pennsylvania. A young girl with bright eyes and a guitar, writing songs in her bedroom. By age 10, Taylor was already performing at local fairs and karaoke contests. While other kids were playing, she was honing her craft, driven by a passion that was impossible to ignore. Her parents, recognizing this extraordinary spark, made a life-altering decision. They packed up their lives and moved to Hendersonville, Tennessee, the suburb of Nashville, the heart of country music. Nashville was a new world. At just 14, Taylor Swift became the youngest songwriter ever signed by Sony ATV Music Publishing. You could find her after school, co-writing with seasoned professionals, her youthful perspective bringing a fresh voice to timeless themes of love and heartbreak. She wasn't just waiting for a break, she was actively creating it. She performed at the legendary Bluebird Cafe, a tiny venue where giants were discovered. It was there that Scott Borchetta, a record executive about to launch his own label, Big Machine Records, saw her. He didn't just see a singer. He saw a songwriter, a performer, a complete artist. He offered her a deal, and with that, the journey truly began. In 2006, her debut single, Tim McGraw, hit the airwaves. It was an instant connection. Her self-titled debut album followed, a collection of songs that felt like diary entries set to music. Tracks like Teardrops on My Guitar and Our Song captured the raw, unfiltered emotions of being a teenager. She wasn't just singing about her life. She was singing about her listeners' lives. This authenticity became her trademark. The album was a massive success, spending more weeks on the Billboard 200 chart than any other album released in the decade. She was no longer just a Nashville hopeful. She was a rising star. With her second album, Fearless, Taylor Swift exploded into a global superstar. Released in 2008, it wasn't just a country album, it was a pop-country crossover masterpiece. Songs like Love Story and You Belong With Me were universal anthems. Fearless won the Grammy for Album of the Year, making her, at the time, the youngest artist to ever receive the honor. She was touring the world, selling out arenas and connecting with a rapidly growing fan base, the Swifties. Her concerts were more than just performances. They were communal experiences, sing-alongs where every person felt seen and heard. But with great fame comes intense scrutiny. Every relationship, every lyric, every public appearance was analyzed and often criticized. The 2009 MTV Video Music Awards became an infamous moment, a public interruption that could have derailed a lesser artist. Instead, Taylor channeled these experiences, the highs and the lows, back into her music. Her 2010 album, Speak Now, was a bold statement. She wrote every single song on the album entirely by herself, a direct response to critics who questioned her songwriting abilities. It was a testament to her resilience and her refusal to let anyone else define her narrative. The transition from country darling to pop sovereign was cemented with her next albums. Red in 2012 experimented with new sounds, and then came 1989. Released in 2014, 1989 was an unapologetic pop album. Named after the year of her birth, it symbolized a complete rebirth. Hits like Shake It Off, Blank Space, and Style dominated the charts. She proved she could conquer any genre she set her mind to. 1989 won her a second Grammy for Album of the Year, making her the first woman to win the award twice. She wasn't just a musician. She was a pop culture phenomenon, a force of nature. However, the path to the top is never smooth. The years that followed brought some of the biggest challenges of her career. A highly publicized feud and intense media backlash led her to retreat from the public eye. For a year, she was silent. Then, in 2017, she returned with Reputation. The album was a stark departure, darker, edgier, a powerful reclamation of her own story. The subsequent Reputation Stadium tour shattered records, becoming the highest-grossing U.S. tour in history. It was a monumental comeback that proved a crucial point. Taylor Swift was in control of her own destiny. Perhaps the most defining chapter in her business journey began with a fight for her art. When the master recordings of her first 6 albums were sold without her consent, she faced a devastating blow. Her life's work, the songs she wrote as a teenager, were now in the hands of others. But instead of accepting defeat, she made a revolutionary decision. She would re-record all 6 of those albums. This move, dubbed Taylor's version, was a masterstroke. It was a way to devalue the old masters, regain ownership of her work, and rally her fan base in a powerful act of artistic liberation. The re-recorded albums, like Fearless Taylor's version and Red Taylor's version, were met with overwhelming support, topping charts and introducing her early work to a new generation of fans. This fight for ownership, combined with her continued musical output through albums like Lover, Folklore, and Evermore, laid the financial groundwork for her billionaire status. Folklore, a surprise album dropped during the pandemic, showcased her depth as a storyteller, and earned her a 3rd Album of the Year Grammy, placing her in an elite category of artists. Her musical empire was built not just on album sales and streams, but on a deep reciprocal relationship with her fans. Then came the Eras Tour. More than a concert series, it became a cultural and economic event. A 3-hour-plus journey through her entire musical history, the tour generated unprecedented demand. It broke ticket sales records, boosted local economies in every city it visited, and became the first tour in history to gross over $1 billion. The concert film, Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour, also broke box office records, bypassing traditional studios for a direct distribution deal with theaters, giving her even more control and a larger share of the profits. By late 2023, the inevitable became official. Taylor Swift was declared a billionaire. What makes this achievement so remarkable is that the vast majority of her wealth comes directly from her music and performances. Unlike many celebrities who reach that status through brand endorsements or side ventures, her fortune is a direct result of her artistic output and her savvy business decisions surrounding it. Her catalog of music is estimated to be worth hundreds of millions. Her real estate portfolio is extensive, and her tour earnings are astronomical. Taylor Swift's story is a modern epic. It's a lesson in talent, yes, but more importantly, it's a masterclass in resilience, strategic thinking, and the power of owning your own narrative. From a girl with a guitar and a dream to a billionaire mogul who commands a global stage, she has consistently turned challenges into triumphs and critics into footnotes. She didn't just find her voice. She built an empire with it, proving that the most valuable asset an artist can have is the art itself.